You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here's your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
This is Ashley Winch in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And I'm Jamie Jennings in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network. Work for Wednesday, February 26th, episode 3635.
Hello, Horse World. It's Wednesday, the day you start daydreaming of a weekend with your horses. We'll help you get there with more silly horse talk on Horses in the Morning.
We've got a great show ahead for you guys. We are jumping back into our Breeds A to Z segment and are on the letter D. I'm very...
Ooh, I gotta guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Dalmatian ponies.
Oh my gosh, so close.
Oh my God, was it close?
Everybody knows that that's my favorite fake breed of horse. I'm really excited to learn more about Dale's ponies. I don't know anything about them. They look like miniature Friesians. I'm really excited to learn more. We have a wonderful guest joining us from the UK to teach us all about Dale's ponies. Then for our horse health segment, we're going to be joined by our friend Madeline Boast of Balanced Bay Nutrition to educate us all on digestible, energy, and hay. Because
I can see Glenn rolling his eyes right now.
He's probably happy he's not on today. Jokes aside, I'm filling in for Glenn as we've lost someone dear to us in the podcast community, Neil Giarte. He was a podcast and video editor and best friend to Glenn. He was the founder of Wild Style Media and the director of the podcast documentary film The Messengers, which you guys might recall Glenn was in as well. He was also a regular fixture at Podfest, and he leaves behind his wife, Naomi, and we are sending our love to Neil's friends and family during this difficult time.
Okay. This is like the first time. We are going to do a double daily Whinny. Why? Because as we sit down before the show, we go over things that we're going to do. And turns out we both have the same daily Whinny. This is so exciting. Okay, not really. So go ahead. Tell what you did.
I think we should count down and do it at the same time.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
We went riding.
Not together.
Unfortunately.
And I'm in Oklahoma. But you had your first ride post-baby.
Huge shout out to our auditor, Emily, who owns a brand of riding apparel called And Horses. She had sent me these amazing breeches. And I'll be honest with you guys, like having a baby, it's a lot. And my body was not exactly the same as it was, 2 years ago when I was riding more regularly. And I was really afraid, frankly, my breeches wouldn't fit. And I slipped these bad boys on. They were so comfortable. I felt so confident. They were in the prettiest wine color. So anyway, fashion aside, it felt so good to ride again, Jamie. We walked trot cantered. We were going up through craggy mountains and across valleys. I rode this gorgeous Mustang with my friend. Her name is also Ashley, and I'm actually trying to get her on the show. She's actually an extra horseback rider in tons of Netflix movies and TV shows because Netflix has a HQ out here in Albuquerque. And I was like, wait, I want to do that. And it was so great.
I want to do that.
I want to do that. So I want to get her on the show to teach us all how to be the horse girls in movies because we need to represent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it felt so good. You guys, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face all day long. It was fantastic to be covered in horsehair, feel the wind blowing through my helmet vent. It was just gorgeous. What about you, Jamie? I think you rode a little illegally, if I am correct.
Well, I did confess to the physical therapist yesterday what I did. And it's so funny because these people don't know anything about horses, which is weird because I'm like, I feel like everybody in Oklahoma should know what horses are.
Agreed.
And I was like, I was joking. I was like, yeah, I rode yesterday. And he was like, what? Why? I'm like, yeah, I rode a horse. That's what we've been talking about this whole time, is getting me ready to go back to horses. He was like, did you put your saddle on? And I was like, no, I just rode bareback. I mean, then it just got weirder. I was like, don't worry. I didn't have to do very much. I didn't put a saddle on. I just hopped up, and he's really small, and he's like 100 years old. He's 100? I was like, he goes, that seems really old for a horse. I was like, dude, he's not really 100. Okay, I'm just, Anyway, so whereas May Babes and horses, she's rebranding it, they have like, basically it's for like moms. Basically it's a breech that has underwear built in. And they're fantastic.
They're amazing.
Okay, what I need from Emily is for you to make a breech with a bra built in, because of my shoulder surgery, I can't wear a bra. And this blessed little quarter horse something or other that I rode, which we named him Carl. I'm sitting on him, and he is so wide that I feel like I'm doing a split, right? So I'm on him and I'm on him bareback, and I'm like, I'm going to trot him around. Oh my God. I mean, my boobs aren't very big, but girl, I was clasping those bad boys with one hand. Well, thank God he neck reins, because I was like neck reining with my right hand and holding my boobs with my left hand, trying not to bounce all over the place. Oh, so crazy. So I was like, I need like some sort of like, I guess what I should do is just vet wrap around them,
Oh yeah, like it worked in National Velvet.
That's true. Who could I get? I mean, I only have Farm Boy out here. I'm not, no. No.
Well, if you find like a fence post maybe or a piece of rebar and then twirl yourself around it real fast.
That's a good idea. I'll just have a spool method.
There, yes,
yeah,
exactly.
You forget. I don't know. I just got on. I was like, let's just jig jog on down. Oh my God. But I've done it twice now. I rode him again yesterday, and it's funny because when you think of getting a horse that is kind of been there, done that, who's 100 years old,
right?
He's kind of done everything, but what I realize is he's not very educated. Like he's tolerant as all get out, but not very educated. He does neck rein most of the time, so. Standing on the mounting block, he was like, what are you doing up there? And so when I go to sit on him, he's like, what are you doing? I think he's used to people kind of like jumping on him,
Yeah.
And so even just from day one to day two, so the first thing I do when I get on a horse is I back them up a couple steps, just so they don't think you sit on them and go because then they learn to walk off. So I'm in just a dually halter. He hasn't had his teeth done yet. That's tomorrow. And so I go to back him up, and first day he was like, I don't know what you're telling me. Why are you pulling on my halter? So I get him to back up. And then he wouldn't go straight. Like he was just like kind of like a drunken guy, like veering left and right. And
he was avoiding the wolves, Jamie.
I know, right? I mean, he's not stressed at all, but he just has no idea how to just walk straight. So I have the dressage letters out in my arena.
Oh, perfect.
So I was like, we're walking to E. And so I'm like, I would stare at E, and then we would take 400 steps to make the 10 steps to go straight to the letter E. So it was like left, right, left, right, left, right. So then we did that, and then he wouldn't stand still. He doesn't want to stand still. I think he's been kind of like, go, go, go. Because you could tell as soon as you get on him, he's like, where are we going? Where are we going? So I got him just to calm down, walk to the letter that I'm staring at after standing still for the mounting block, and then stand still. And so when you're teaching him to stand still, okay, I'm going to ask you to just like, literally your job is going to be walk and stand still. Everything is going to work out for you. You're going to be fine, but just walk and stand still. So day one, it was like when they go to walk off, and you let him walk off a couple steps, and then you back him up, say he walks off 2, backs up 6.
Yep.
So all of that, I was constantly having to work on that the first day. And then yesterday I rode him again. He backed up perfect. He walked right
Hey.
to the letter, went straight, and stood still the entire time. And I was like, oh, he's so smart.
He's brilliant. Carl's
I
a
know,
genius.
You can teach an old dog new tricks. I was quite proud of
Even
how
if they're
he did.
100.
100 years old. Oh my God. Jeez. Come on, Mason. Get it together.
Oh, that's so
Been waiting for
exciting.
6 weeks.
That's so
Understand
exciting.
sarcasm. Thank you. I was pretty pleased. I was pretty pleased with them. So I just think it's going to get better and better. And it is funny to climb up on a mounting block because I'm used to getting on thoroughbreds that are taller. I mean, Ace is 16.2 and everybody's that high. And then I have to get on the mounting block and step down. Like, I don't think I need the 3-step mounting block for this horse.
Maybe just one.
maybe just from the ground, throw my leg over. But no, it was really fun, and I'm just really pleased on how quickly he learned. So I was like, there's a thing, and I don't know if you've ever read the book. When I was a child, a teenager, I would read any book that had the name horse in it.
Absolutely. Yep.
And there's a John Steinbeck book called The Red Pony.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, it's a book about horses, a pony. I get it. That's not a happy book about ponies.
No,
like
it certainly
it's not. It's John Steinbeck.
Exactly.
Okay? But I don't know why. It's disturbing for like a teenage horse girl, but I learned a very valuable thing in this book, and I say it all the time, and I almost said it when I was talking about this horse, but I might as well just explain it to all of y'all because this is what I do when I'm teaching a horse something. So in the book, this red pony is kind of a wild pony, and they put him in the field, and it's barbed wire, and the horse goes running across the field, and they're all waiting for this wild pony to go straight through the barbed wire, and the dad's kind of like, this one might be really stupid, like kind of, I'm paraphrasing, but he puts him out in the barbed wire, and they're fully expecting this horse to just run through the barbed wire, and he's visualizing all the carnage that's going to happen when the pony runs through the barbed wire. Well, the pony runs out to the field, gets to the fence, and turns, and like doesn't go through the barbed wire. And the little boy was so excited that he's like, it turned him, Paul. It turned him. It turned him, Paul. Like, so his pony wasn't stupid. And so anytime something like that happens, where I got on him yesterday and he backed up and he went straight and he stood still, I was like, it turned him, Paul. It's just something in my head. I hear like echoing from the disturbing books that I read as a child, just trying to read about ponies. We can cut this all out if this is weird, but I don't know. In my head, I was like, it turned him, Paul. And I do that a little too often, like, this book, but it's just one of those like core memories that you have.
Yep.
It just I don't know. Maybe that's weird. And again, if you think it's weird, just cut all this out.
No, I love it. And I think we should do Jamie book reviews far more often, frankly, because Steinbeck has never sounded so exciting.
Well, trust me, there are some very disturbing things in that book for this poor little pony. However, again, I haven't read it in probably 30 years.
Right.
So excuse me if nobody write me, send your complaints to Jennifer@horseradionetwork.com if you're like a Steinbeck junkie and I've misquoted the book. But in that book, it says, it turned him, Paul. And I hear that all the time. And I've tried to explain that to Farm Boy when he does something with his horse. And I'm like, it turned him, Paul. And he's like, what are you talking about? So it's like a thing in my head all the time that happens. And I just felt like I should explain it to y'all today because y'all are crazy along with me because we all have horses.
I love it. I love it. And with that, let's learn about Dale's ponies.
It's time for Breeds of the Alphabet. From Arabians to zebras, we take you on an adventure, highlighting a breed for every letter of the alphabet. Can we do it? Stay tuned in 2025 and find out.
And joining us now, all the way from the UK, is Anna, who is the owner and breeder of Nipna native and rare breeds, here to tell us all about the Dale's ponies. So, Anna, at first glance to me, these ponies look like mini Friesians. I'm sure that is nowhere in their bloodline, but that's what they look like to me. They're just precious.
Yes. A lot of people do say yes, mini Frisians, although it does make us slightly cringe, if you know what I mean.
Fair.
But we can totally see it, and we understand why. But yes, they've probably got an older history than the Frisians. But they are absolutely wonderful ponies, brilliant animals. But yes, they have that impressive, big black beauty type pony look to them, don't they?
They certainly do. If you could tell us a bit of the history of the Dales pony.
Yeah, so the Dales pony really, it's always been known as a working animal. So way back in time, in round our way, I'm based in Yorkshire, and they were the farmer's horse. So they would do the ploughing of the land, they would do the work, and then on a Saturday they would take the farmer and his family smartly to market, and they were that sort of, they've always had the tagline of the great all-rounder, and that's come from their history, and that ability to turn a hoof to whatever's been asked, be it farmland work, be it even further back. We have the old lead mining routes, and whilst they were never a pit pony, they were too big for that. They were the pony that would take the lead ore from the mines to the depots where it was weighed and such like.
Wow, they really have been along a long time, and I love the all-around aspect. So tell me about their temperaments. I imagine if they're great all-arounders, they have to be pretty even-keeled ponies.
Yes, definitely. And the beauty of the Dales pony is that they're never boring. They're great characters. They're great willing workers, but they want to please, and they want to work for you. They're not steady cobs, if you know what I mean. They just want to work, and they want to please you. And when you get them on side, or when you have a real partner, they're an amazing partnership. They're full of energy. They're known over here for their tremendous trotting ability, and their ability to sort of pick up some pace and really look smart. And it all goes hand in hand with that willingness and temperament.
What kind of disciplines would you see Dales ponies in today? I mean, it sounds like dressage would maybe be a great little discipline.
Yeah. Definitely. We have some great ponies that are doing some really good things in dressage, and we do a lot of flat showing, driving ponies. They are so good as a driving pony, so smart, and endurance, and trek, anything that they can engage their brain with, any obstacles and that sort of item.
Now we have it might be a silly American question, but we have to ask it. Are Dales ponies related to the Queen's ponies, the Fell ponies, at all?
Okay, so basically, the Fell ponies are on the west of the Pennines, which is the mountain range in the UK that sort of divides the centre of the north of the country, and the Dales ponies are on the east side of it. So there is a bit of shared history way back. The Fell ponies are a little bit smaller, when the Dales ponies are that bit bigger. But yes, there is a bit of shared history.
Well, that makes us feel better that it wasn't a completely silly question.
No, definitely not.
Now, in my research for today's segment, I found that the Dales pony is considered a rare breed, and they are listed as critical by the Rare Breeds Survival Trust. And clearly, you're out there breeding and doing the work to help this breed. Tell us about your work in conserving them as a breed.
Yeah, so as a breed, they are critically endangered, and we have about 140 foals born a year, and that's it, and that's worldwide.
Oh my gosh!
UK
wow.
Yeah, so it's very few, but the Breed Society is brilliant. We have a really active, busy society that we're out there promoting them and doing what we can to show the world this brilliant pony. And actually, in some ways, we can't breed to the demand, if you know what I mean. It takes a long time to build up numbers. So but we have so many brilliant breeders, both in the UK and in the US. You've got some brilliant breeders across there that are doing a bit to promote the breed and to show how great they are. And it's anything anybody can do to show a Dales pony and say, this is what we are, this is where we are, and come and meet them is the best thing anybody can do to conserve the breed.
They're just beautiful, beautiful animals. I'm hoping to see one. Maybe we have a big horse exposition in April in Ohio, and they highlight a bunch of rare breeds. And I'm hoping that maybe we'll see one at Equine Affair. If people wanted to learn more about you, your work, the breed itself, where could they go to learn more?
Okay, so in terms of the breed itself, we have our own Dales Pony Society website. So you can go there, which is www.dalespony.org.uk. In terms of myself, in terms of the Nipner herd of Dales ponies, we have our own website, which is www.nipner.co.uk. Both of us, the society and myself, have a social media presence on Facebook. And so you can sort of find us all over the place.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again for taking time. I'm so glad it worked out. And I've really enjoyed learning about these beautiful, beautiful ponies. So thank you, Anna. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us. That's really good. Thank you.
Well, bundle up and brave the winter chill with State Line Tack's cold weather store. Find everything you need to keep you and your horse warm and cozy all season long. From heavy-duty winter coats to blankets and cozy accessories, they've got you covered. Shop their selection of top brands like Ariat, Ovation, and more. Don't let the cold weather keep you from enjoying your favorite equestrian activities. Visit State Line Tack today and get ready to ride in style. Always listen, you guys. There is a coupon code. HRN is the coupon code. You get 30% off any $129 order. Just enter the coupon code HRN at checkout. Some products are not eligible for the additional discount due to the manufacturer's restrictions, and they'll be noted in your shopping cart. But you guys, it's like it's free. HRN. Well, let's welcome our next guest. This Horse Health Report is brought to you by Daily Dose Equine, non-GMO core nutrition for horses and ponies of all ages. I would like to welcome to the show Madeline Boast. She's an independent nutritionist at Balance Bay Nutrition in Ontario, Canada. And while she may be in Ontario, she works with horses and nutrition all over the world. Thanks for joining us, Madeline.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to chat.
Well, we're going to talk today about the energy content in horse hay. And so tell us, I guess, give us a Reader's Digest on what that is and why it's important.
So when we talk about digestible energy content of hay, that is the calorie content. And I would say this is one of the most overlooked values when we're looking at the nutritional content of hay, especially with the rise we're seeing in easy keepers and horses that are overweight. So a lot of people want to focus on sugar content, but I think calorie content is so critical when we're trying to have our horse gain or lose weight.
Yeah, I think it's important for humans, so might as well be important for horses too. I look at that one when on the labels. So what is digestible energy? Why is that crucial compared to looking at protein, sugar, all of the different things we look at?
So it is one of the critical values because it is a nutrient requirement for the horse as well. So a horse needs a certain number of calories to maintain their weight. Of course, if we want them to gain, we need to provide them calories above that requirement. And if we want them to lose weight, they need to be in a calorie deficit.
So we've got all these different kind of avenues of using digestible and all of these different things. How do we know what we're giving our horses?
The only way to know truly what you're giving your horse is to have your forage tested. So what I like to present to owners is a lot of the time we'll be so focused on the concentrate or supplements that we're providing our horse. However, realistically, 90% plus of their diet is going to be hay in most cases. So when we don't know the nutritional content of that hay, we're missing such a large piece of the puzzle. Specifically, I would say for easy keepers and horses that maintain their weight really, really well, providing a forage that is high energy and high in calories you're never really going to be able to elicit safe weight loss, because that forage is going to have to be restricted to an unsafe level for that animal to lose weight and for the calorie content in the diet to be low.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of my horses. Like I have a lot of off the track thoroughbreds, and then I have a couple, chunky quarter horse Andalusian types. So it is, excuse me. So it is very different, kind of like all the different nutritional needs that they need. And so, I mean, aside from like muzzling, should I have a variety of different types of hays for the different kinds of horses? Or because literally I'll be like, stop eating so much, and it never works.
Yeah, it is. I would say it's much harder to take calories away than it is to add calories. So I'll use my horses as an example. I have a quarter horse and a quarter horse cross. One is about 28. He needs a lot of supplemental calories. And the other is a very, very easy keeper. Same thing, gets fat on air sort of deal. And so they live together. And I prioritize a forage that has adequate protein and is low sugar, because both of them have metabolic issues. And I do prioritize it being lower in digestible energy or calories, because I know that I can supplement calories really easily with concentrates and fats, or things like beet pulp and oils, to the more senior horse that needs that supplemental calorie content to maintain weight.
Okay, so basically you kind of focus on less great hay and just supplement on top of it for the senior horse. Because again, I have a senior horse as well. So it's like horses provide you with a variety of nutritional challenges. And so basically, yeah, you kind of look at each one, but you're saying start at the kind of the bottom and work your way up.
Yeah, I would say in most cases that tends to work quite well. The other thing that a lot of people will purchase in a really rich supplemental hay. So they will have their base their base hay that is good for the base of the herd, but then those that need extra, they'll have a richer premium quality hay that they supplement to those other horses. Gotcha. On the other kind of flip side, if you're managing, say, a facility that has brood mares, and they have very, very high energy requirements, especially during lactation. So for those horses, I find it is critical to prioritize premium quality hay, or else you end up spending a lot of money on supplemental feeds to maintain their condition and have them be happy and healthy throughout their whole pregnancy and lactation period.
Okay, so the $1 million question is, how do we know? How do we know what we're giving our horses?
You have to test it. And I know a lot of people aren't super keen on hay testing. However, it is something that is not very difficult to do and is not very costly. It often costs far less than a container of a joint supplement, for example. And I really don't like when people aren't testing hay simply because they don't know. So if anyone wants to email me to get hay testing instructions, I send those out completely free of charge, just because I don't want people not knowing to be their barrier to getting their hay tested.
That was my question, is like, you talk about hay testing. How do we do it? So how do we do it? Is we just email you and you tell us how?
Yeah, I will send out instructions. You can work with a nutritionist from your local feed store. Oftentimes they will have a hay corer, so they can come out and take that sample for you. If that isn't available in your area, there are ways for you to take the sample on your own, and you can ship it. In the States, mostly Equa Analytical is the lab that is used, but you can also normally send it through your local feed store, and they will have a lab that they ship out to.
Okay, this is probably a dumb question, but I mean, like, I get my hay from a dealer, and I get, 50 bales at a time, and then I get 50 more bales, or I get round bales from somebody. Do you suggest we test every hay every time we get it, or how do you do that?
So the gold standard would be to be testing every batch of hay that you get. that is not always practical, especially in really large facilities that are sometimes getting a new batch of hay every single week. So what I often do in those cases is we test a few of the first batches, or I will actually go visit the hay supplier and take a whole bunch of samples, and then we average them out to get your average, basically, nutritional content, and we balance to that. It's not perfect. Obviously, testing every batch of hay would be ideal, but it gives you a really good estimate.
Okay. So you mentioned people contacting you to get information on how to do it. Where do they contact you?
They can email me at balancedbaynutrition@gmail.com. And if you just put in the subject line of the email, hay testing instructions, I will get those sent out to you.
Fantastic. Well, Madeline, thank you so much for joining us and talking about all of this. We appreciate it. And again, do you have a website?
Yeah, balancedbaynutrition.com has lots of information and a ton of educational articles if people are interested in reading more.
Fantastic. We'll put all of that in the show notes and I'm assuming it's fairly cold in Ontario, so try to stay warm.
I'm here with the mad scientist who developed Daily Dose equine horse feeds, Janet Geyer. And I wanted to have a quick chat with you because Daily Dose equine horse feed are non-GMO whole food nutrition based. And a lot of people go, oh, that comes from a small dedicated feed mill. I won't be able to get that when I travel. They're wrong, aren't they?
They are. You can get it through Chewy anywhere in the United States. Or if you live locally in Maryland and Northern Virginia, you can get it delivered.
There you go. Chewy.com. It will deliver it anywhere you want. You can also schedule delivery in advance so you can have it delivered every X number of days. And you can go in there to your account and change it every time you move horse show venues. So check it out today, dailydoseequine.com online or chewy.com.
You can enjoy your favorite equine videos all in one place with Ride TV, the ultimate equine streaming platform. The newly relaunched Ride TV has all the series you love, like Cowgirls and Ridiculous Ranches, plus top-tier training videos and event footage from BailRacing.com and Horse and Rider on Demand. Whether you're ready to relax with your favorite series, binge-watch competition footage, or train with a world champion, subscribe to Ride TV today for only $19.99 to see where your ride takes you. Visit ridetvgo.tv to subscribe.
Time to learn why some days you're embarrassed to be part of the human race. In Jamie's Weird News.
That's right. It's the time of the week where I tell you the weird news stories that are happening all over the globe. This time it is an international weird news story with a twist.
Ooh la la.
Okay? I'm going to tell you that I got so many stories that are completely different yet incredibly similar. So that makes no sense until you hear what I'm going to tell you later. So here we go. I would like to thank these people for sending me in weird news stories. Laureen, Shelley, Stephanie, Lindsay, and Janelle all sent me a bunch of weird news stories. And here we go. Let's start with, this is just really weird. We're going to go to Berlin, to Germany, because the police in Munich are investigating a mystery.
Ooh.
Are you intrigued, Ashley?
I love anything with a mystery.
This is crazy. So imagine you're in a grave, in a cemetery,
Ooh.
and you're walking through the cemetery and you notice on every grave, there's a QR code.
Stop.
Like a sticker of a QR code on a grave. So, I mean, if it was me,
I'm going to
I'd probably
scan it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently thousands of stickers were put on gravestones and wooden crosses at 3 cemeteries in a German city without any indication of who did it or why they did it. And they all have a QR code on it. And when you scan the QR code, it shows you the name of the person buried there and its location in the cemetery. But nothing else.
But I'm already there and I can read the name and I'm at the location. I'm very confused.
Yes, the police are trying to figure out why anybody would put QR codes on graves, saying that it's disrespectful, obviously. They're trying to find out behind the stickers, but also apparently there's like gravestones were damaged and discolored when the stickers were removed. Yeah, so somebody's going to jail if they catch him. But I just thought, what a weird waste of time.
I honestly,
what a weird news story.
I thought you were going to say like, and then we scanned it and there was an AI version of that person who had passed away and we had a conversation about their lives. Like, I thought it was going way cooler than it went.
I thought it was going to be like, if you scan it, it's a picture of the dead body inside. But I don't know. My mind went really dark. Okay. I went really dark. But it turns out it's just the name of the person and like the date they died. And it just makes no sense. Anyway, it's weird. That's why this is weird news.
It's
people.
weird.
It's
weird.
This next one is, I'm going to tell you the story, but I would encourage you people not to Google it because the photos that I'm seeing are just really gross. Okay. So we're going to Bogota, Colombia. Colombia police. I mean, if you think Colombia and you think police, what do you think?
I mean, should I say it? We're a morning show.
Drugs.
Cocaine. Yeah.
Drugs are bad, and this is involving cocaine. It is Colombia. Yeah, it's a thing. Okay, so Colombian police there's this guy, and he's going through, I can't pronounce the name of this airport, and he's about to board a flight to Amsterdam. What could possibly be shady about a guy going from Colombia to Amsterdam?
He's just really passionate about Van Gogh, Jamie. I don't know what you're talking about.
He just wanted to get he probably wanted to go see some flowers or something, sure. So he starts to walk through the scanners, and I believe it was a drug dog that was alerted. Like, hey, sir, we're going to need you to come over here. And they look at him. They're like, he looks really weird. There's something really weird about his head. Like he has a funny shaped head. So they send him through a scanner and they reveal that there is 220 grams of cocaine packed into tiny little bags, strategically placed underneath his toupee.
Stop it right now.
$10,000 worth of euros of cocaine in this guy, in between his head and the wig. So what do they have to do? They're like,
they gotta scalp him.
They gotta scalp him.
Oh
and
my
God.
God.
Is where I said, don't Google this because it's really gross, because they had to put on blue gloves and remove the suspect's wig with scissors.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
the picture is half of the scalp lifted up with little baggies of cocaine and it's their bald head. It's really gross. Anyway, it's weird, and that's why it's here.
Oh my gosh. I can't remove this image from my mind's eye.
You're welcome. And finally, the last weird news story is not really a last weird news story. It's a lot of weird news stories all together because there was a theme of all the submissions. And then I went down a rabbit hole and found even more. Okay. So what it is there is a collection of animal weird news stories. And I couldn't cover them all. So I'm just going to read you the headlines and I'm going to swipe through the screenshots of all of these weird news stories. And I want you to see if you find in this a general theme.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to start with a porcupine. I mean, how can you tie a porcupine with any other animals? But escaped porcupine captured in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
A remarkably rotund beaver wanders through Chicago.
Okay.
Waldo, the Scottish Highland bull, is on the loose in Connecticut. A goat was rescued from the 5th floor window of a ledge in Madrid. Horse rescued after falling halfway through a wooden bridge in England. What? Police rescue a deer entangled in a dangling rope. It's like wrapped around his antlers. And that is in Michigan. Sassy pony leads Indiana troopers on a hoof chase.
Oh, God.
Red panda escapes zoo and is found in a Polish hospital parking lot. Alabama police search for the owner of a runaway goat. An owl, this is a little behind, but it just got released. An owl strikes a pose on a Christmas tree after flying down somebody's chimney in Virginia.
Oh my gosh.
Midland Fire and Rescue was alerted to find a large horse had become loose and walked across a pool cover and fell into the pool.
Oh no.
And finally, so obviously the theme, would you like to put it all together?
I mean, they're taking over. Animals are taking over the world.
It's like a week of animals on the loose all over the world. You're right. I think it's a thing. Then finally, this one is my favorite. And I'm trying to imagine what would happen if this happened to me. And the headline is, vulture that, quote, loves people escapes a nature show in Georgia. Here's the thing. I had to read this one because a rescued black vulture escaped from his home in Georgia that does a nature show and has been seen wandering loose south of Atlanta. Okay, Atlanta, not an animal-friendly place.
Nope.
I would just go with. They alerted everybody because somehow he got loose from his enclosure. And here's the quote. They alerted everybody because they just don't want you to hurt Buzz. Okay.
Oh,
because Buzz loves people, loves cuddles, and loves uppies, and may try to fly to you.
Oh,
but he's
stop
not
it right
dangerous.
now.
Could you imagine if you were like walking around the streets of Atlanta and a freaking vulture
tries to jump in your arms? That is the foulest thing. Oh, pun intended. Oh my God.
Ow. I would freak out. I will be honest, they are my favorite birds because they have a very valuable place.
A very
in the
important
ecosystem.
job. Yep, for sure.
But that valuable place should be very far from me.
They nasty. There's a reason they don't have feathers on their head. It's because they're gross.
They're so nasty.
They nasty.
Could you imagine if you was like walking around the streets of Atlanta and like this vulture buzzard was like, "Hey, can I get in your arms,
hey,
bestie?" Anyway, it was last spotted. Buzz was last spotted Thursday in a Columbus, Georgia residence yard, but he left before the owner could be found or could get there. Oh my God. Oh,
I need Buzz to have a reality TV show. I need cameras following him.
I think so. So anyway, all of these weird animal stories, everything's on the loose, and just watch out for everything. How about that?
Perfect.
Well, everybody have a wonderful day. I got to get down to the farrier. Actually, he just told me, I'm sorry, when does this ever happen? My farrier is going to be here early.
What?
That doesn't happen.
I think you should ride because that's a sign of good luck. So
it's a beautiful day here in Oklahoma. I think I might have to do that. And everybody, thank you for joining us. Ashley, thank you for popping in. Oh, Glenn texted me and he wanted me to read you something.
Oh.
Did you get this text?
My phone's on Do Not Disturb because I'm a responsible podcaster.
I am a very irresponsible podcaster, but otherwise I wouldn't get all of this fun information. Glenn says, close the show with this. And so imagine this is his voice. I'm not going to do his voice because that would be insulting. What's it like owning a horse? Imagine caring for a giant, hyperactive drama queen with the appetite of a vacuum and the survival instincts of a potato. Love you, Glenn. Spay, neuter, down, everybody.